I'm Noel.
And welcome to the Laeno Family. Today we are giving advice from Mama and Papa Laeno.
Advice? I don't know if we should be giving advice.
Disclaimer, we are not doctors. We are not therapists. I actually got an email from this very nice supporter and she gave me the idea actually. She goes, you and Papa Laeno should do like an advice video for parents.
Oh wow.
And I was like, alright, well.
Should we be giving advices for parents?
I don't know. So take anything we say with a grain of salt. If you find anything helpful, great. If you don't worry about it.
Yeah, it might work for us, but it might not work for you. First advice, maybe don't have kids.
Oh, stop. First advice is don't take his advice. Yeah. Anyway, so we put a question on our family channel. Ask advice to Mama and Papa Laeno. We haven't even looked at the answers yet, but let's see what you guys had to say. Okay, the first one, it says, how do you keep yourselves together when sending your kids to college? Love you guys.
Oh yeah, like how do you handle it? Me was easier than her. In the beginning, she was, well, you know, you can describe how you felt, so. But mine was easier than hers.
She was just fine when the kids left.
I was like, yay! Celebration!
It was really bad for me. I think I've talked about this before, but it's literally, you know, you take it for granted. You have kids in the house, a full house, and it's nice and loud, and you know, it's just every day you see them and it's just the normal, and then out of nowhere they're just both gone.
Right. And
you come home to an empty house and like a little piece of you is just kind of like completely broken.
There was a void. She was like really, really heartbroken. Like she broke up with someone and...
I broke up with someone. I can handle that.
Okay.
It felt like a death almost. It felt like I lost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I'm kind of a dramatic person, but...
Kinda?
It's okay. As we all adjusted to our new normals, everything's kind of looking up. I think time spent now with the family is even more appreciated.
Yeah.
And we don't take it for granted, and we really make sure to not sweat the small stuff with each other.
That's right.
As much.
Yeah.
Anymore. And we have some opportunities to miss each other too, which is good because then we can kind of be excited to see each other.
I'm always excited to see her.
Oh, so. Shush.
Like, oh, damn, look at you, girl.
I don't know. What do you do when your kids are sad?
Okay. For me is when they're sad, I'm sad too. I feel their feelings. And so it breaks my heart when they're sad. But then, you know, what do? We talk to them and we kind of just talk it out and see how we can resolve it. How can we you know, work at it together.
No, I feel the same way. When anybody in the house is sad, like it weighs heavy on us too.
That's right.
So I think what we try to do and talk to them about is not only, you know, hopefully they share it with us. We try to create a safe space for them to share why they're sad and just kind of, you know, see what they say. And you know, sometimes they just want us to listen.
Right.
You know, not really offer any advice, but just to listen. And so we have to be mindful of that. Or sometimes, you know, we have to remind them what they can and can't control. You know, someone might be making them sad. A situation might be making them sad. But it's like, what can you control and what can't you control? And trying to put things in perspective for them so that they can kind of understand what they have control over the situation.
Not judge them. We have to listen to them.
Yeah, listening is key.
Yeah, I think
not judging.
Yeah, not judging.
And another thing I always ask them and tell them too, hey Sadie, welcome. I always ask them for like pretty much anything. It's like, is this person being helpful or hurtful in this situation for you? And you know, they got to realize if the person is being more if the person is being more hurtful than helpful in their lives, then it might be a good time to reassess.
That's right.
Okay, next question. How to believe in yourself even when you feel that everyone around you doesn't?
Oh man, that's hard.
Yeah.
People are always going to judge and put you down because, I don't know, there's a lot of times where
they're going through their own
things.
They're
going through their own
So they have to deflect and
that's right.
kind of like judge you when in reality they're kind of judging themselves.
Right. When people do that and not believe in you, I think those are people that you kind of just like stay away from. Because
Good point.
They're just gonna put you down and it's not gonna help you.
And if you love something, like let's say with Christian's music or Nicole's, you know, dance or YouTube, it's like you kind of have to do it for yourself, right? You have to love and do things for yourself because people will see if you're authentic, and they'll see if you're genuine. For us, it's like, okay, God can judge you, family that, you know, like really loves you can judge you, and you can care about how they feel about you. But anybody else, if you let yourself worry about outside noise, you'll never get to achieve what you love to do.
Right.
You can't please people your whole life and be like, okay, you know, I have to do this because this person might like it, or I have to do it because, you know, this person says I have to do it this way. If you start living to please other people, you'll never be happy. You have to do what you love. And as parents, we encourage our kids' passions and their love for things.
Do what makes you happy, and not making other people happy. That shouldn't be the priority.
Yeah.
So
do it because you love it.
that's right. I mean, people are always gonna judge, and don't worry about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easier said than done, but
Yeah, it's a daily thing. To be a better version of yourself is like each decision, each day. You can't get overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, you know, like, how do I do this? How do I become this? Like,
how do I please this person? How do
Yeah,
I please these people? Me, I don't care. Like, a lot of these people I'm not gonna see ever again a lot of times. So I just do whatever that makes me happy. like going up somewhere and like dancing or whatever, and
What are you talking
being in front
about?
of people.
Where are you dancing in front of people? How to make my relationship with parents better. They are great parents, but our communication isn't.
Oof. Yeah.
Well, it takes two to tango. So if you say your parents are great, that's a great start.
Yep.
That means they're willing to be better, I'm assuming. They're willing to grow. So I know me personally, in order for me to be better with, like, let's say Christian and Nicole, I have to know that both of us are making an effort. We're both making an effort
Working on
to
it.
communicate better and to listen to each other. Like, for example, me and Christian, we're so much alike that we like actually argue the most because we're literally mirroring the same person. It's kind of scary.
It's like they're talking to each other.
And so sometimes we have to, I mean, I know it's stereotypical, but agree to disagree. Sometimes he feels a certain way and I feel a certain way, but at least we're just like, okay, like, I heard you. Well, we might not like completely agree with each other, but at least we're gonna try to understand each other and try not to like intentionally make each other feel that way anymore. And so I think it's just talking to them and making sure that, hey mom, I know you may not understand, but like, if you could try to listen to me and, you know, just see where I'm coming from, and, you know, then I think that's a great start. The more you communicate and listen to each other and talk it out, even if it's a hard conversation, it gets easier. Every hard conversation leads to easier conversations.
It is. You get used to it, and I think a big part of it is the tone too, how you guys talk to each other instead of like in a yelling match.
Give each other respect, both sides.
Yeah, watch that tone. Don't
Tone
cuss.
is everything.
Yeah. When you start cussing, I think that makes it worse
no,
too.
I mean, that's a rule for actually our marriage. We've been together for 24 years, mind you, and married for 20. Good job.
Yeah. What happened in those 4 years?
What do you mean 4 years? We had 2 kids in those
yeah.
What do you want happened? Those just weren't the years we were married. But we learned from a very young age that, like, even if there's one bad word, it triggers.
Yeah, that's a trigger.
Yeah, it makes the situation 100 times worse. So like, that just can't be a thing with us. We won't use any, you know, profanity if we're like the most upset we've ever been.
Yeah, when
like,
it's like
ever.
a heated moment. I mean, I think it's like for the parents, they're coming from a good place, but then sometimes it comes out very judgy.
How do you keep such a steady and healthy family relationship?
The biggest thing is communication and respect for each other, right? Kids, your parents just understand that they're coming from a good place and all they want to do is protect you, right? Because they've experienced so much already. All they want to do is protect you and kind of tell you their experience, and they don't want you to do this, they don't want you to do that.
So don't like completely like be like, no, you don't understand, blah, blah, blah. Like, just try to see it from their perspective, and then hopefully they try to see it from yours too. But
because one of these days you're gonna have kids and
it'll be the same thing.
It'll be the same thing.
But like, mine would be showing up is a big deal.
Just always be present.
Parents, kids, sisters, siblings, brothers, show up for each other. It's really important. It means something. It really does mean something. And never stop trying. Like, me and Noel are like obviously not perfect parents, but I'll tell you this much, I'm never gonna stop trying, and he's not either. Whether it gets to the extent of like family therapy or family meetings, or just having the hard conversations and being the bad guys.
That's right.
In the end, the kids will see that their parents never stop trying, even if they didn't get it right all the time.
Yeah, and then
don't give up, even if it's like if they've done the same thing 1,000 times and you feel as though you're not getting to them.
Just keep trying.
Keep trying. Eventually,
it'll click.
It'll click a little at least. Little by little. Little by little.
There's gonna be some improvements.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one little step at a time. And I think, once they see that you're trying, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, they're trying, so I'm gonna try too. Some dating advice. Oh wow. Do we have any dating advice?
How do you keep a long-lasting, healthy marriage?
Oh wow.
I know. This might be a 4-part video.
Don't be afraid to say I love you.
Shut
oh damn. Compliment your wife all the time.
All the time, really?
Yeah. Why?
You only do it on my birthday.
No. Like right now, she's so pretty. Look, she's doing her hair.
Shut up.
Looking good. Nice sweater.
Okay, calm down.
And hugs and kisses all the time.
Stop.
No, I'm serious, because that's all. That's for some reason that's all they want, just affection, right?
He's finally getting it.
Yeah.
Women just want attention.
Right.
Like even if we tell you you're annoying and we want you to go away, we don't want you to go away.
Yeah.
I would say for a healthy relationship, what's healthy about us, babe? We try to have a good time with each other.
That's
like
right.
He's like my best friend, so we're.
Oh, I thought it was Nicole.
Well, yeah. But this is our video.
Yeah, I'm the second best.
Yeah.
I'm the second best friend. I'm the backup.
I feel like you have to enjoy each other's company. We go on dates all the time. We talk a lot in bed. Like when he goes and runs errands or he's out, we're on the phone still.
Right.
We talk a lot. If we're not talking, we're still on the phone.
Yeah. If we're not talking, I'm still thinking about her,
The hard stuff though, to be serious. Though, me and him, we have 2 different communication styles.
Yep.
And this has been a work in progress for 24 years.
Okay. You have to get it
together. My best advice for the communication part is understanding how your partner communicates. So Noel, he can be very stubborn and he can be very don't worry, I'll say something about myself too. He can be very closed off when he gets upset. He could when we first met, he could probably not talk to me for I don't know, a week or something.
The whole silent treatment.
Yeah, he'll hold on to a grudge and he needs time, right? To process, to get over things.
Yeah.
And me, I'm more the talker. I'm hey, it's not that big of a deal. You misunderstood, I misunderstood. Let's meet in the middle. It's all good. So as the years progress,
right,
we had to learn each other's styles of how we cope with things and give each other a little grace, but know that we could do better.
Right.
So obviously, him not talking to me for a week and me not giving him space is not healthy. That's not healthy. Mm-hmm. So it's almost okay, well, now it doesn't take as long for him to process. But then me, now I'm you know what? It's probably a good thing we sit on this for a day or 2.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Give him space a little bit.
Yeah. So if we know now that we're making it worse than it actually is, we try to stop ourselves.
Right.
What did we just talk about the other day?
We talked about how it's just gonna be just me and her. We don't have the kids anymore. So we only got each other, so we might as well just
let's just try to get over it quicker. Let's say we're oh, you're dumb. No, you're dumb. It's
you're dumber.
You're dumber. You're dumbest. And so
infinity dumber. Yeah, we're still working on it, of course.
I mean, we're gonna work on it for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we are. And just sometimes you just gotta just step back and just oh my god, this is so small. How did it get so big?
And I think as you get older too, you just let things go.
That's right.
You're just well, I'm not gonna be mad at this. But if they do say something hurtful, make sure they know.
Yes.
And they apologize so that they don't do it again.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to say sorry. I mean, just
yeah.
swallow
He just
started. I just started saying sorry. What are you talking about? All I do is say sorry.
It's an apology tour every day. Don't have an ego.
And, once they say sorry, okay,
and try to move on.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes,
See?
last thing about marriage is be better for yourself so you could be better for each other.
Ooh.
So it's like the more happier you are, like for yourself, the more happier you can be for your partner. Like, do you want to talk about like when you went through depression?
Oh, All right, you want to be vulnerable? Let's do this. Sadie, be quiet.
You tell her, babe.
I went through depression. I don't know what it was. This one I was like, I got laid off, and everything just kind of kept crashing down. Anxiety went up.
Mind you, he was like the sole provider of our family too, so
Right.
he had a lot on his plate when I was a stay-at-home mom.
Anxiety is something you're worrying about that hasn't happened, and I was really, really bad at it. Because what I would do is, there's this term called catastrophizing, and what it is, for example, it's just, I lost my job, and then now I'm thinking, okay, how am I gonna support my family? How am I gonna get food? Oh my God, we're gonna be homeless. It just keeps going up and up. It's like, what the hell? And then something was going on with my body where it was like tensing up and I couldn't sleep. And so what I did is, I tried to understand what I was feeling. And so I went to, I went to the internet, I read books, and just kind of see what anxiety is and what it does to your body. And what it is your body, the mind, it's thinking that it's in trouble because you keep replaying all this stuff, all this bad stuff that's gonna happen to you that hasn't happened yet. And so your body kind of just prepares itself, it tenses up to protect you from that danger that's in your mind. And so what it was, I couldn't sleep, and then I was tense. It's because my body was trying to protect me.
He was like a big there was like a gray cloud of rain like going over him. Like, he's usually like, you guys only see like Papa Laeno like the happiest and funniest, because he is. This is the type of person he is.
Right.
But during that time, he went through so much, and it seemed like for a really long time too. And like, we didn't understand it, but
I didn't understand it.
Yeah, I know.
So I had to like research and see what was going on. Once I understood what anxiety is, then I knew how to control it. When it comes, I know what's going on with my body.
Because it doesn't completely go away just because you understand it.
Oh man, I still have anxiety all the time. And worrying is something you're looking into the future that hasn't happened. And what you need to do is you need to stay in the present moment. That's why I think meditation is big key in my life that I added as my routine, and it just keeps me centered, and it puts me in the present moment and stop worrying and it controls my anxiety. So
even in your darkest moments, you have to still get up and you still have to figure your life out, because you're not only living for yourself, you're living for your family. Just the beautiful part of it. No, I'm proud of you. No, the beautiful part about that moment is that he was able to like kind of give his wisdom to like his own family, to us, maybe his friends that are going through it, and it was a blessing in disguise because of that.
It was a blessing in disguise. We're all human. We're all gonna go through all these anxieties.
We've kind of been able to like be there for each other as much as we can.
Yeah, we talk about all our experiences with it, and then we're able to kind of like tell our experience with it and how we handle it.
Yeah. So, okay, just continue to be better.
That's right.
Be better for each other, if not for yourself. You're the example for your family, for your kids, and so they have to see when you're like at your down, so they can see you work on being up. Do you know what I mean? Ooh. That's realistic. You can't hide stuff from your kids like that. They have to see you grow, because we want to see them grow.
Yeah.
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 Good job, babe.
Thanks, honey.
Okay, well, I think like everybody knows this, so we'll just touch on this a little.
How did you meet? Oh, okay. Oh man, the infamous.
In the club.
In the club. That was back in college. It was a Tuesday night. I was just partying, and then I saw this pretty lady checking me out. I was like, oh my God, why she keep staring at me?
Whatever.
And then what else happened? Go ahead, continue.
I went there.
Going to the club.
And like, we saw each other the first time, and we didn't talk, nothing happened. So I didn't come back the next week because I celebrated my birthday. Came back the week after, so 2 weeks later from the first time we saw each other.
Yeah.
I opened the door, and he was the first person I saw. And like during those 2 weeks, I was just like, I wonder if I'm gonna see that guy. you know? But you were the first person I saw.
That tall Filipino guy.
Ever. And so I walked by him at some point with my girlfriend, and then he turned to me.
She's just like that. Looking at me.
He turned to me and he said,
damn! I was like, oh man, I gotta know your name.
That was the infamous line.
Yeah.
And then we danced the whole night, and then at the end he asked for my phone number and then a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, and a kiss on the cheek, I went like this, and then I did my little trick. Don't steal that.
No, go ahead, steal it.
Go ahead.
No. And then the rest is history. 2 kids later.
I let the music take control and just dance.
Okay. How do you continue the family bond throughout the preteen and teenage years? They're kind of going through their own stuff, which breaks my heart because the preteen and teen, like there were some challenging times with the kids. The sucky part, we kind of had to let them make their own mistakes. We can't be there for them for everything. Even Christian told us like some things like later on that happened in his life that like broke our heart after, but he couldn't come to us because he was like,
I think he was afraid that we would judge him, or he didn't want to seem weak and just wanted to handle it on his own.
So our part in this would be to remind them that when they are ready to talk to us, we're here.
Right.
So how do you keep a relationship with them? I would say do your best to keep the family meals weekly. And even if they don't talk, that's okay. You guys are together, and if and when they want to talk, you give them opportunity. I mean, growing up, I took Christian, to just me and him to restaurants because it creates a space where it's not too many people. Do you know what I mean? And like, so if you guys are
it's just
talking,
you and him, so it's like,
then it gives them the opportunity to tell you things. And especially when they're a preteen and teen, you don't want to pass judgment. And as parents, we automatically want to make things like a lesson. We're like, okay, well, I gotta teach him. And I do. That's my.
I
that's
do
my.
that too.
We. But at some point, you have to be like, he doesn't want advice. He doesn't want like a life lesson right now at Olive Garden.
Yeah. He just wants you to listen.
He just wants you to be safe for him or her to talk. It's easy to ignore the fact that your kid is not acting the same because it's not so obvious, but you kind of know.
Right.
So don't ignore it. Just kind of pay attention. Be like, something's up. He's not the same. He's not acting the same.
Yeah, and then you just ask us. It's a simple question. It's like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? When they start telling you, just put the judgment to the side first. And just kind of just let them talk and hear them out and see what they're saying.
That's not easy, by the way.
It's not, because like me, I was the opposite. I mean, I pass judgment all the time. And because me, like, I always wanted to protect
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Can't do no harm. What advice do you give to your children when they're anxious about work or school? I would say the same things. It's just kind of like, okay, when you're stressed out about this, what can we do that's in our control? And it's okay to like, pull them out of school for a little bit and let them sleep or let them rest if they need a day and they're just really going through it and, they don't have any crazy tests or there's things that they can make up. Like, it's okay to rest, Okay, I don't know how let's do it. How do you find love? Don't settle for less.
Yeah. Don't put too much time looking for it and forcing it. I think love, it just kind of just happens naturally and organically, right? We met at a club. We didn't know we were gonna fall in love. I mean, it's like,
this life journey has been just so unexpected.
That's right. Who could have predicted that we'd be in the situation we're at right now? So it's I mean, I wasn't looking for love at the club, and look, and it just came to me.
I feel the same way. I was actually single before I met him for like 2 years, and I just dated like a bunch. That was good for me. Like I wasn't like.
Well, I was dating too, a lot.
Okay, calm down. Yeah. All right, it's not a contest. I'm sure I went on more dates though.
Yeah. Oh man.
I was just thinking about those dates.
He's so funny.
Good time.
One guy was so funny.
I know.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And then what happened? Look,
he was too funny, and I was like, okay, you're making me laugh too much.
Okay.
Okay, anyways.
And look who she chose.
Our advice on this is, one, the more you look for it, obviously, like it won't happen. Right. And if it does, and you want it to happen so bad,
don't force it.
That you're willing to settle and like be with somebody that's not good for you because you just want the thought of love,
Yeah.
You just want the thought of love, and so you'll settle for less, and then you lose bits of yourself. And then when you lose bits of yourself in the relationship, everything goes downhill.
That's right.
Everything goes downhill.
The love isn't authentic anymore.
No, it's not. You're just trying to be somebody else to appease this loser that you're with. And you don't realize it till after. So it's one of those where it's like you have to, this is where you have to kind of learn to. Like, it's not like us as parents can be like, you know, he or she's with the loser.
Yeah.
We can tell them what to do. I mean, to an extent, we can let them know how we feel.
Right.
But in the end, they kind of have to learn on their own.
Yeah.
And that's hard to watch, people.
It is.
That is hard to watch. Not gonna lie.
Not gonna
It is very hard to watch. But this is where us as parents have to be like, okay, there are some things that we have to let them learn on their own.
Just remember, there's someone better out there for you. Don't worry about the heartbreaks.
And there's always good that comes from bad, right? So once you do learn from your mistake, from your past relationship, you know what you want and what you don't want.
That's right.
And you will not settle for less the next time around. You'll be like, I deserve this. I deserve to be loved. I deserve the world. And if they're not willing to give it to you or want to fight to give it to you, get out of here.
Get out of here. It's like, I deserve a Noel in my life.
Whatever. Okay, last question. Did you ever get judged by others by joining social media, and how did you handle it?
Judge?
I just think you don't care, so that's different.
Like I said, I'm never gonna see these people ever, or I don't even know them. So all their judgment
doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. And plus, I'm not even that big to be for people to judge me. So people might think I have all these followers and everything, but I don't. A lot of times when people come up to Nicole and Linda, they don't even know I'm there. I'm right there by them. And
can someone please ask for a picture of Laeno?
Let me tell you a story. There's this one time I was at the mall. A group of girls recognized me and they're like, oh my gosh, are you Nicole's dad? And I was like, oh yeah. So I'm like smiling, right? And then it's like, oh, can we take a picture of you? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I stood up, got myself ready, looked at my phone, make sure I didn't have anything in my teeth. And I was like, oh, you know, Nicole and Linda are in the Mac store, which is right in front of us. And they're like, once I said that, they're like, oh my God! And then they just left me. And I'm like standing there, posing, and I was like, do you guys, just self-esteem,
You're cute, honey. It's okay.
Yeah.
So you guys just take a picture with him. I can't speak for Nicole because, you know, she's been doing this for so long, so it'd be interesting to hear what she has to say. But I will say for me, like even with just having the family channel for like the past year and a half, and you guys kind of seeing like the transition from us being like full-time in the house with all the kids to all of a sudden like everyone's gone and Nicole's in college and, you know, Christian's at Sky's house, and, you know, like you guys are kind of seeing us transition. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, there was a lot, not you guys, the people we like.
Yeah.
There was a lot of judgment on how we did things. And
all the comments.
Yeah, and it like affected me like a little bit, because I was like, you start questioning like, oh, are you a good mom?
Good mom, yeah.
Right? But then at some point I'm just like, why am I know the type of parent I am. I know the type of person I am. And I know even if I'm making mistakes and I'm recording them, I'm gonna learn from them, and I'm not gonna let other people's comments judge me if I'm just being my authentic self. And so, yeah, they have bothered us, but they don't anymore. And if you know, people want to judge us, we just invite you guys to leave our channel.
You gotta watch,
because we're just filming this. We're doing this for us, you know, but we do appreciate everybody else that supports us and just wants to come along with our journey, whatever that is.
All the good ones.
Yep. Okay, with that being said, we might do another one of these videos just because there were so many questions. So maybe next month we'll have another Advice with Mama and Papa Laeno. But like we said, take everything with a grain of salt. This is just our experiences and we're happy to share it. But in the end, our intentions are always to be there for our kids, love them, and let them know
Support
that.
them, yeah.
And support them
And
with all our
support each
heart.
other.
And support each other.
That's right.
And don't ever give up. Don't ever give up.
That's right. Just keep
Always
talking to
be there for each other. Don't give up, even
Always
if
show up.
even if it doesn't seem as though like it's working.
It
In
is.
the end, it is. So with that said, thank you so much for watching.
Like and subscribe to the Laeno Family.
Join us every Sunday for a new video, hopefully.
Bye!
Bye.
Oh, Merry Christmas! Happy New Year!
holidays.
Happy holidays! And then, oh, check this out, look.
Yeah, let's go. Vlogmas.
What is it, 20
Vlogmas 2022.
Yeah! Merry Christmas, you guys!
Bye. 1, 2, 3. Hey,
Hey everyone!
You can go first.
No, it's supposed to be
Just
going.
switch it up.